Well, good afternoon and welcome to the break room. I'm here with Jamie Hyde. Jamie, first time I met you, I felt that you would be perfect for this. I really wanted to sit down with you in the break room and give you a chance to talk to my audience about exactly what it is you do, how you can help them, and save them from some of the things that I think are some of the worst moments in your life. So what is it you do, and introduce yourself to the people in the break room.
Well, thank you, Christopher. My name is Jamie Hyde, and I'm a personal auto buying expert. Basically, I step between the people that buy cars and the dealers. That's
Okay.
my niche. I don't really chase cars or go to auctions too much. I wanted to be very specific about what I do,
Okay.
and I'm very good at eliminating that hassle and aggravation people feel through the normal car buying experience.
Okay. Well, I know one of the things that you told me that I found excellent is you said you drive the car, and then you go home and you take care of everything else.
Yeah, what we do is we start with a consultation,
Okay.
and I help you figure out exactly what it is that you want.
Okay.
Some people know, some people don't. I had a client that came with me with a van, a sedan, and an SUV. And I'm like, okay, let's figure out how many kids do you have? Who lives in the house? Do they play sports? Okay, you're in a minivan type thing. I help them
Okay.
pinpoint it. I will give them a rough estimation and come very close to what the actual value of their trade is without
Oh, I
any of
didn't
the,
even think about that.
without getting pulled into the dealership. I can look up auction values because that's pretty much what they're going to give you. And then I can help you on the finance side. Should you lease? Should you purchase? Should you put money down? Based on what you share with me about your credit score,
Okay.
approximately where your interest rate's going to be. We put the whole package together.
Okay.
Then from that point,
Yeah.
I facilitate the test drive by calling the dealer. It's important to understand that buying a car is a chess match.
Okay.
And it starts from hello. And most people go in and they fall in love with a car, and their attitude is kind of like, we'll take it from there and see where it goes.
Okay.
That's the wrong approach, and that's what dealers want you to do.
Well, you know so much about this process. How is it that you know what dealers want you to do? Well, I mean,
So obviously I was in the car business.
okay.
I was in my own company, self-employed for about 10 years, and things got a little slow. My wife came to me and told me to go find a job, so I found myself in the car business.
Okay.
And from day one, there was just something about it that rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't want to lie to customers. I didn't want to treat them badly. I just wanted to help people buy cars. And so I hatched the idea of someday, learning the business, and someday leaving and assisting buyers.
Okay. I mean, you told me some, some pretty interesting stories about how you were able to hit target prices. I guess that's something you discuss in the consultation, and then you go out and you get what it is they want, right?
So yeah, after we help you land on your target car, and sometimes people know, sometimes they need to go test drive a couple, which I facilitate the test drive, as I was saying. I call the
Okay.
dealer, I schedule the appointment for them. Once you land on your car that you want, sometimes sometimes you find it after you test drove.
Mhm.
Had a young lady up in Daytona Beach that wanted a Subaru Forester.
Right.
And after she went and drove the car, she decided she wanted the Subaru Outback. So that's why we test drive cars and figure out what you want. So I build the deal out of the factory. I don't worry too much about budgets, and I don't worry too much about what the dealer says they're going to purchase and all that. I build it out of the factory. I recognize right up front, like my clients know where the profit's going to be. They deserve to make a profit. They got to be in business,
Okay.
but we minimize it, and we get the best deal possible.
Okay. So you have a target price already in mind when you, so okay, let me actually go back. So that I'm understanding what you're saying, I decide that I want a I don't know, Audi Q7.
Okay.
And we sit down and we talk about the price, and I go test drive a couple to see which engine option or whatever it is that I actually want,
Correct.
and then I go home.
That's
right?
it.
So that whole day that I normally spend sitting in the dealership and drinking soda and whatever and feeling like I'm handcuffed and can't go home, you eliminate all of that.
Correct. Yeah, you go in. I let the dealer know up front that you're coming in to test drive the car that works best for you.
Okay.
Find out what makes you happy, maybe what makes you not happy. Depending on the strategy we've created for your car buying experience, we may ask them to go ahead and evaluate your trade
Okay.
while you're there. That's just give me a ballpark idea of where they're going to open us up at or start at on their negotiations.
Okay.
And then you're in and out of there, and ideally that situation that process shouldn't take more than an hour. And then once you leave, I handle the negotiations. and then I leave it up to my client how they'd like to take delivery of their car. Sometimes I can get the dealer to cooperate and do the paperwork by mail, and they'll deliver the car. A lot of my clients, especially local, I find they prefer just to go in and sign and pick it up themselves and get it over with.
Okay.
Especially if there's a trade involved or something like that, but it depends.
So what you're saying is then, I go to the dealership twice. I go to test drive the car, and the next time I go is to actually pick up the car.
That is correct.
No stress, no hassle.
That's it. In and out as fast as we can do it. I can't control what the dealer does, but I try to get them to understand if they treat my clients right, there'll be more deals coming them way.
So let me, I want in fact, you were telling me about a Audi that you got for a customer?
Yeah, there's a lady in Delray Beach. She wanted an Audi Q3.
Nice.
So
nice.
yeah, so we had actually tried to do a car deal a couple months before,
Okay.
and through our research, I advised her to wait because she was in negative equity situation with her trade.
Okay.
So I asked her to wait for a little better timing,
Mhm.
and then 6 months later or so, she decided she wanted an Audi Q3. And what we ended up doing was, by then she was out of that negative situation.
Okay.
That 6 months made a difference. And she wanted a very specific color and a very specific interior color
Okay.
with options that she wanted, navigation, backup camera, that type of thing.
Right.
So she goes to the Audi dealer, and they tell her they don't have her color. After that, I get involved. They tell me it's going to be 5 to 6 months to order the car.
Mm-hmm.
Then they really didn't want to order the car, and in their opinion, the car was such an ugly color that if she backed out, they wouldn't be able to sell it. And that's
Okay.
exactly what the salesperson told me that. They had 32 of them, in every color but the one she wanted. And I said, well, she wants what she wants. So I ended up chasing the car through 3 different dealerships to Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
I ended up having the car delivered to her front door here in Delray Beach, Florida. I let her know that if she was set on that color with those options, it was $600 to have it delivered.
Okay.
She said, I'm fine, I want what I want. And we ended up saving her, with my fee and the delivery, we still saved her in excess over $3,000 off a sticker. And that was dropped at her door from Louisville.
Well, you bring up an interesting point, or lead me to my next question, and it's that question: what is your fee? Talk to me about the fee.
So my fee on that particular deal, and it's pretty much my average fee, is $997 total.
Okay.
And I have a not happy, don't pay clause.
Okay.
And that is simply, I collect a very small retainer of usually $100 up front.
Mm-hmm.
And let's face it, when you have this knowledge, kind of like an attorney, people tend to try to use you sometimes for your knowledge and your experience.
Okay.
So
that's, true. That's very true.
The retainer is kind of protect myself a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you only pay the balance once you've taken delivery of your car, and only if you're completely happy with my service.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm assuming that you normally save them more than that in the negotiation, as well as the fact that you, like I said, you take the whole hassle out of the buying process, correct?
Yes, and obviously the price of the car is one thing, but I always say people that focus just on the price of the car lose money. And
Okay.
that's what the dealer wants you to do. They want you to focus on the price of the car because, look, let's face it, the information's out there on the internet, right?
Absolutely.
You can get really close to the best price on the car if you do your own research.
Okay.
But what those online services don't do is they don't negotiate for you, number one.
Okay.
And most
That's true.
people are not as good negotiators as they think they are. Majority
So
of people
what
are
you're
not.
saying is we leave money on the table.
Right, and then trade value, interest rates. We took a client recently from a 4.9 interest rate to a 2.74 interest rate on 72-month term.
Nice.
So there's value there over
Absolutely.
that 72 months on top of the
Absolutely.
price of the car. And then the free service we negotiated in, and extended warranties and things that come along. There's so many profit centers in a car sale. Folks really, truly don't understand. And quite honestly, what happens is they get mentally exhausted. And the process, if I can say this, is designed to do that. It's
Right.
designed to break
You know,
you down.
That's very true, because as I think back to my experiences of car dealerships, I mean, I think by hour 6 or 7, you're ready to sign whatever. Just get me out of here. I mean, you know, kind of like you say, you know, the whole thing of, well, I'm calling California to see if I can find that color, and you know, well, you have to wait because they're 3 hours behind, and this is showing me this in the computer, and that whole process. to the point that the white one that you didn't want to buy that they have on the deal on the forecourt is the one you end up going home with because you just can't. So you alleviate all of that.
That's correct.
And I'm sold. So let me ask you. This works or your process works from anything from a Mini to a Rolls Royce?
Yeah, I've actually I've done everything from Honda Civics up.
Okay.
Everything in between. Not real big on a lot of used cars, and I'll tell you why. Because
Right.
the market sets the price on used cars.
Okay.
Can we negotiate some money off of used car? Of course, and so can you. They're not going to sell a used car for $2,000 more than their neighbor's selling it for. Money is made on the used cars when they either got it at the auction or they stole the trade, is the terminology in the industry is. So that's where they made their money. So that's why I don't make a living in the used car market.
Okay.
My service is the niche of, while I get you the best price, really eliminating that hassle and aggravation of dealing with all of it.
Okay. Well, I know you have a lot of other things coming on, Jamie, and we'll definitely be having you back in the near future to talk about those. But thank you for coming to the break room,
Thank you, Christopher.
and I wish you much success.
Thank you.